it's time to see what's wrong with the wrecker. We're stuck in the shop here. Blake, Chris, and Gene, they're out at a winter run. We're missing out, but we got to figure out what's wrong with the wrecker. When we were out in the cold, it sounded real serious, but now that it's warmed up a little bit, it doesn't sound quite so bad. It might just be a header leak. Oh, looks like you're gonna wash my windshield again.
Well, I mean, you can look out through that if you want, but you know.
I'll do it.
It's pretty dirty.
Wait.
I'll do it.
Oh,
wow.
There you go.
So sure enough, guys, we got some header bolts that backed out, and at least one that's missing. Yeah, a couple of them backed out, one missing on the driver's side here. I've been retightening the one on the passenger side because that's been the one that's been loosening up on me, and I guess I've been neglecting the driver's side. So we'll replace the header gaskets, and then after that we'll see if it's really misfiring or not. Well, we got the header loosened up. We're going to see if we can sneak these gaskets in there. Looks like a real nice warm day out there. It's supposed to get to the 40s. Bet you Blake, Chris, and Gene are having lots of fun playing in the warm snow.
Well, the Gladiator slid into the tree.
All right, time to see if our noise is gone and see if we really have a misfire or not. All right, well, our noise is gone. I don't think we have a misfire. So we don't have a misfire problem, but I have been noticing something else. We've been going through a lot of oil lately. This motor's getting awful tired. You see all this oil here by the breather? Well, that was all cleaned up before we went to Trail Hero. So what do you suppose that means? Well, that means that we're pressurizing the crankcase. More than likely, we have cylinder pressure getting past our rings. There is a way to tell if that's happening. That's with a cylinder leak down test. We can even isolate it if it's only one cylinder that's got a broken ring. Shall we do that? So this is how we do a leak down test. We do it with a manifold gauge set here. We have shop air coming in. We have a regulator and a gauge that goes up to 100 psi. And then we have a hose putting air into our cylinder through the spark plug hole. And then we have our gauge to give us a percentage of the leak down. Now, in order to get an accurate reading of this, we want both valves closed. So, in order to do that, you bring the cylinder up to top dead center. Of course, it's a 4-stroke, so it could be top dead center exhaust, or it could be top dead center compression. What we want is top dead center compression. So one way to do that is to pull the valve cover like we did here, and make sure that both the rocker arms are closed. In this case, we're on cylinder number 8, and both rocker arms are closed. On some of the engines that have a spark plug going straight down, you can put a top dead center gauge, thread that into the spark plug hole. Then you know the piston is at top dead center. You still don't know if it's top dead center compression or if it's top dead center exhaust. So you do the leak down test. If you have a whole bunch of leakage, you rotate the motor over 180 degrees, bring that piston up to top dead center again, and then that should be the compression one. Then you can measure your leak down. On a small block Chevrolet, because the plugs go in the side and are at kind of an angle, it's a little hard to use a top dead center gauge, so that's why I pull the valve cover. Make sure that both our valves are closed, then I know it's close to top dead center and both valves are closed. So we'll bring our air pressure up here and check our leakage. So we bring it up to 100 psi, and then the amount of leakage, or the pounds of leakage, is actually the percentage. So you can see here that we have about 50% leakage on that cylinder. And now we check where the air is leaking. If it's leaking out the carburetor or the intake, we know that our leakage is from the intake valve. If it's leaking out the exhaust pipe, we know that our leakage is through the exhaust valve. In this case, we can tell that our leakage is coming right out where our valve cover is removed here, which means that it's leakage past the piston into the crankcase. Now 50% leakage is moderate. Basically that's telling me that we have a tired engine. Our rings are wearing out. Now I'm going to check all the other cylinders, but I'm assuming they're going to give us the same thing, and might be time to freshen this engine. Well, we got done doing our cylinder leak down test, and it looks like we're ranging anywhere from about 68% leakage down to only about 30% leakage. The 30%, that isn't too bad. We could live with that. But that 68% leakage, that's way too much. Looks like we're going to have to freshen her up before the spring events. Well, thanks for watching, BSF Recovery Team. Keep wheeling, be safe out there, and hopefully we'll get back out in the woods.